Now, keep in mind, this is for your whole agency, meaning this is what all of your sub accounts will use. Whatever choice you make, you're making it for your sub accounts as well. Now, Twilio is complicated. It took me a minute to figure out how to use it when I first got started, and it was a headache. But if you're already an advanced Twilio user, you want to manage everything yourself and have some advanced features inside of Twilio, you want to use the link in the description to create your own Twilio account here. And if you're already experienced with Twilio, this may be a good choice for you because of the advanced features that you'll have access to. And if you are familiar with Twilio, then you should pretty much already know how to find your SSID number, and you'll plug it right in here, and you should pretty much already know how to get that set up. You can also click this option right here to automatically create a new sub account with Twilio every time you create a new location or sub account in HighLevel, and then you can manage the rebuilding there inside of Twilio. Now, this again does get really complicated, and this is definitely not a beginner friendly option. And that's where Lead Connector comes in. What most people don't know, Lead Connector is still Twilio. It's just a HighLevel agency account where HighLevel is agreeing to manage all of the compliance and do everything for us so that we don't have to worry about anything. And there's no upcharge. Lead Connector and Twilio actually cost the exact same thing. So honestly, it just makes sense to avoid the hassle and use Lead Connector instead of going through the whole Twilio process. Again, it's definitely a personal choice. It depends on your experience level, but you can use either or. And when you use the lead connector option, just like if you select this option right here, it's going to automatically create all the sub accounts for you every time you create a new location or a new sub account within HighLevel. Now, if you're just getting started with HighLevel, then whatever option you choose, your sub accounts will automatically be set to that same option. But if you already have a HighLevel account and you're currently using Twilio and you want to switch over to Lead Connector, then it's going to give you the option to switch it or leave your sub accounts as is. So you would just say switch Lead Connector phone system. Once you get in here, it's going to tell you this is to switch your default phone system from Twilio to Lead Connector. Your current sub accounts will be unaffected, meaning all the accounts that you already have set up for sub accounts, nothing is going to change with them. You have the option to move them over if you'd like to, but if you don't want to move them, if you don't want to switch them over or change anything about them, you don't have to. It's not going to automatically switch it over. But once this option is enabled, all the new sub accounts, your future clients, will automatically be set up with Lead Connector phone services. Now, to activate Lead Connector phone services, a $1 authorization check for security is mandatory, but the funds will not be collected. Once you decide you want to move forward with getting Lead Connector, you'll hit confirm, and that's it. Sub account will be migrated to Lead Connector phone services in the next 48 hours. And that's it. Now, you can hit close and you'll be able to come right here. And if you already had sub accounts in here, then you have the option to come right here and switch to Lead Connector for any ones that you want to switch. And switching it is individual, so you can leave some with Twilio and switch others to Lead Connector depending on your client or depending on your own preference. All that's up to you, but again, Lead Connector is a lot easier. Now let's get into these emails. The email services tab is right underneath the phone system Twilio tab. And I'm just going to move this out the way. It's basically set up the same exact way as the phone system. So if you are new to HighLevel and this is your first time setting it up, whatever option you choose, you're choosing that option for your sub accounts as well. If you are already using HighLevel and maybe you're using Lead Connector or you're using Mailgun directly, then whatever you switch over to, it will not automatically switch your sub accounts. You'll have to manually and individually switch all your sub accounts. And if you choose to use Lead Connector is HighLevel's version of Mailgun, or it's HighLevel's Mailgun account. And they have created a sub account within their Mailgun account, and they're going to handle the compliance and everything just like they did with the Twilio. It just makes it a lot easier, especially if you are not familiar with SMTP services. This kind of just makes everything a lot easier and faster to get set up. To switch from whatever mail service you're using over to Lead Connector, it's the same process. You'll select Lead Connector. It's going to tell you once migrated, emails will be sent using a shared domain. You can set up dedicated email sending domains later. This is not mandatory. Your agency default provider will be charged to LC, which is Lead Connector email. And all clients, which is your sub accounts, who have SMTP or dedicated domain in Mailgun will not be migrated. You have to individually select that they be migrated, just like we did when we switched from Twilio to Lead Connector. You'll hit I acknowledge and you'll hit confirm.